Hey everyone, I'm the college football enthusiast on SG1 Sports Florida, and today I will be doing my takeaways on our Week 2 matchup versus McNeese. As many of you know, the Gators took care of business. We were able to dominate, and the game wasn't close at any point, which is good. That's exactly what I wanted, so I'm glad we took care of business. And if you tuned into my live Saturday night after the game, I did give some takeaways, but I really wanted to kind of be more detailed on those takeaways, because doing your takeaways right after a game, you have some bias. The game just ended, you're full of energy, you're hyped about the Gators, which I am, and I still am, because go Gators always. But I wanted to go more in depth. So with that being said, my first takeaway is how smooth we looked on offense. Again, it is an FCS opponent. It is McNeese, but I was very proud of how we looked against them. Against McNeese, we were able to establish the run early, and there was no looking back after that. Our offensive line was established. We were able to dominate the line of scrimmage. Our running backs were able to make plays. And that's the way that our offense is supposed to run. If you tune back into the Utah game, we deviated from that very early, and Mertz ended up throwing 44 passes. He did complete a lot of them, but that's not the type of offense we want to run. We want it to be centered around the running back. So against McNeese, we were able to do that. And Mertz did throw the ball. He threw the ball 17 times and completed 14 of them for a touchdown and 193 yards, which is solid. It's not 300 yards, but that's not what we're asking of him. We're asking of him to make the right throws, find the open man, and kind of manage the game. And nothing's wrong with being a game manager, especially when the offense is supposed to be centered around the running back. So our offense we were able to do what we wanted to do for the rest of the season. So very proud of that. And we were able to move some guys around in the offensive line. One of the commentators in the game pointed out that we were more dominant on the left side. And then as soon as he said that, then we ran on the right side, which is kind of funny. But on the left side, we were able to have Hudson Jr. and the left tackle, which he wasn't the biggest factor in the Utah game. He wasn't one of the starters. So it was good that we were able to kind of rotate the offensive line this time and kind of give everyone a chance there. And even better news that I received earlier today is against the Tennessee matchup, we actually will be having our starting center back, Kingsley Egukin. So we can only go up with our starting center going back on the offensive line. So I am looking forward to that game, and I believe that we will continue to be good on the running game, and I highly doubt that we will go back to how awful we did running the ball in the Utah game. So with my second takeaway was defense. On defense, we looked very good. I was very proud. The only thing, I'm going to start off with the negative first, because I have a lot more positive to say than negative. But the only thing is, I wish we would have had more sacks. We only had 2 sacks. And I wish that we had some turnovers. We didn't have any turnovers, unfortunately. But we did have a couple pass deflections, lots of tackles for loss. And we didn't let them score until the end, but that was because our 5th string running back fumbled right in the end zone, and then they had the ball there and they scored. But realistically, it should have been a shutout. So very proud of the defense for doing that and not giving up a bunch of 3rd and longs. I was very, very glad that we were able to stop them on 3rd down, because that's a problem that we had last year. That last year, we just gave up the most absurd third and longs, and it was the most infuriating thing. It would be 3rd and 15, and they would get the first down with ease. I think we ranked 120th in or 130th in third down defense last year, which is just inexcusable. So that being said, very proud of the defense. 2 games in a row that they've been able to tackle and that they haven't looked completely lost. Again, that first play against Utah, that was a very well-designed play, so I'm not going to hold that against them. Besides that, the rest of the games, they've looked good. They've looked like they've been communicating. They've been able to do in-space tackling, which is a huge deal and something that we honestly haven't been the best in the past couple of years. So very proud about that. And with that being said, my third takeaway is the only downside of the game is that after we scored a touchdown, we had a botched snap on special teams, and then we weren't able to get the extra point. So it was 6-0, and then I think we went for 2. No, we scored, kicked the extra point, and then went for 2. And we can't have any more special team mistakes. Like, special team mistakes may happen, but with the Gators, we have them so often that it's inexcusable. We really need to get better with that. Even against McNeese, we still found a way to have a special teams mistake, and that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. We really got to get on that. And also, it's not a lot of penalties, but I saw we had 4 penalties. I don't remember exactly in the game where all the penalties occurred, but I would have preferred to have no penalties or maybe 1 penalty, but that's okay, I guess. At least it's not like 10 or anything. So 4, it annoys me, but hey, could be way worse. So that is my third takeaway, that we need to improve, still need to improve in penalties and still need to improve in special teams. So hopefully we get on that. And my fourth takeaway is that a lot of players got to play. This is for the first time in a while that a lot of freshmen were able to play. Like, not just maybe not freshmen, because we play our freshmen a lot. So what I mean is a lot of second stringers, third stringers, fourth stringers. We had our 4th string quarterback in. We even had our 5th string running back in. So a lot of people got to play. Midway through the third quarter, Max Brown was able to play, and I said that a week ago that I really wanted to see what Max Brown was capable of, and he looked solid. It was a very small sample size, and Gator fans wanted to see him more. Me as well. I wanted to see him way longer, maybe all the way until there's like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then put the other guy, but still glad I was able to see Max Brown. First time I've seen him on the field when it's not orange and blue. So he looked good. I know it's McNeese, but he looked good. He looked in control. And that's just something I'm very proud about the Gators. Besides our 4th string fumbling the ball, and I'm not going to be too hard on him. Like, it's all right. It happens. I would have preferred the shutout, but it's fine. But besides that, even our 3rd stringers and our 2nd stringers on defense and offense looked good. Like, usually you give up like a crazy like long touchdown because it's like, oh, it's just the 3rd stringers, it's garbage time. But they looked good. They were still deflecting passes. Our 2nd string freshman, specifically Jakeem Jackson, played very well. TJ Searcy, he played very well as well. And I love to see that our 2nd stringers and 3rd stringers are engaged and that they're motivated. So just lots of positivity around. The only negative stuff is really the penalties and the special team error. But that being said, very proud of the Gators. And I hope we continue to build on this performance. And I hope we are able to continue our dominance in the run game. We had 327 rush yards. Montreux had 2 touchdowns. Trayon Webb, our freshman, had 2 touchdowns. Etienne had a touchdown. I'm so glad that we were able to feed everybody and that we were able to run for 327 yards. That's exactly what they needed. They needed that confidence booster against whoever. Like, the Gators really needed that, especially in the run game. Very proud of the defense. It almost slipped my mind, but I can't forget to point out that we were able to do a safety. It's been so long since I've seen the Gators do a safety. And I say it like that because back in the day, in the mid 2000 teens, our defense was really good. So we were able to force things like that. But in recent years, not so much. So very glad to see a safety. It's been years, maybe since like 2017 or something like that. So very glad to see that. But with that being said, on to the next game. Looking forward to the Tennessee matchup. And I will be doing a preview of that on Thursday. And very excited, very excited. I think that this gave us more momentum. And I think that it'll only go up from here. So thank you guys for tuning in. And go Gators.